Hi, this is John Hilbrands of Hilbrands Carpet Care. Today I'm going to be stretching a hallway. There's all this looseness in here, and it's kind of T-shaped. It's kind of weird. I could stretch it towards this open other side of the hall, but then it would also push into the stairs. So we're going to pull it all towards this doorway here. And the seam actually is kind of loose there. I could hand peel it, but I don't peel it once it stops. So I ended up cutting the rest of that. You can see this odd little bridge setup that I created for my power stretcher. And once you pull it nice and tight, you nail it off so it stays nice and even. I wanted to keep it really even because you'd see a wave if it wasn't nice and straight there. So it's the same on one side than it is on the other. And that'll make the seam really invisible because the pattern is maintained. And I can see that that cut worked out perfectly. You have to be careful on the cut by opening up the line and then running your razor blade in that open line so you don't cut any face fibers. A little tough, so it's probably worth its own video. Here you have me seaming it, and I always, in addition to, look how nice that's coming out by the way, and the pattern is perfect. I always pinch it as I'm pushing it along, just with my fingertips, so it keeps it nice and tight. All right, and then once you've taken your seaming iron out, it's still hot, and there's a potential for it to separate. So you use these suction slash weights. They're fan based, and they actually pull the tape into the backing, makes it more strong. When you stretch it, as I did, away from this door edge, we're going to have a gap there, so that had to be filled with a fill piece. And when you have a fill piece, you have seaming tape underneath it, but you don't really get your seaming iron under there. So I just used a glue gun. When you use a glue gun, you always have to scrape it to make sure that it's nice and flat. So you have the seaming tape under there, you scrape it nice and flat glue, then you put your carpet on top of that, and that's just like seaming it. It's just hot melt instead. So here we have a Z-bar. It's an odd kitchen, odd bathroom setup. So they used a Z-bar. There really isn't a problem doing it this. I'm not going to pull out their old Z-bar. Just you don't usually do it that way. So I'm making sure that carpet is, after it was kicked up to the tack strip, I'm making sure it's going under it really good, that little metal bar, and then I'll be hammering from above, and then I'll squeeze the Z-bar down on the carpet that's pushed under it. And this is to keep the little cardboard there, is to keep me from hammering the tile as I'm hammering the Z-bar flat back. So once you stretch it, you get these little dirt lines. And it's a good idea to have it cleaned after, and I'm going to be cleaning it after. But it's not really wrinkled. And then you can see that the seam came out perfect, that edge isn't missing. You basically have a really nice stretch. And just to show you a difference, that was the before. I mean, and that is the after. So it's a big major difference. And some people don't understand that a hallway that seems smaller than a room is, for what reason is it a little bit more expensive? And that's because of, having to deal with that seam to pull it tight too. It gets a little fussy there. Not a whole lot more. It's like $50 added for the seam, but over the 125 or 150 for the area, so it ended up being 175 or 200. And so if you're in the Temecula area and you'd like us to do some restretching for you or some carpet patches, I'm John with Hilbrands Carpet Care, and I'd be happy to do that for you. If you'd like to give me a thumbs up and a like, I'd appreciate it. And hopefully this video has helped you understand how a hallway gets stretched. Thank you.